Sorry, I was choosing my live wallpaper, guys. My Bill Hicks wallpaper. I'm just telling people, if there's people that don't know who this is. It's Bill Hicks, one of the greatest stand-up comedians of all time. There's some others, but I mean, to me, no one was as great. No one was as great at speaking to an audience than he was. I mean, I know Louis C.K. I know Louis C.K. is. I know George Carlin was, and Pryor was, but Bill Hicks had like a different type of swagger about him. He had a different type of, how do you call it? He had a different type of beauty about his swagger, which was mesmerizing to me. It's why I became so fascinated with him. It's why I became so fascinated with his work. Because here everybody else was talking about how bratty their kids are, and how terrible their wife is or whatever, and talking about doesn't airplane food suck, and here doesn't airplane food stink, and here was Bill Hicks talking about positive drug stories, and he was talking about JFK assassination, and he was talking about he's talking about how he's talking about the evils of marketing, and talking about how Dick Clark is the Antichrist, and I just and he was talking about how this life is just right and everything, and that's kind of what fascinated me. That's kind of what got me fascinated with him, was he was doing something so different than every other stand-up comic. And I think that's what made Dennis Leary jealous, was because he literally had a natural talent, and Dennis Leary had nothing. Dennis Leary had nothing. And I think he immediately saw Hicks, and I think he immediately saw Hicks, and he actually admitted, hey, I was never an original comedian. Everything I did was Hicks. He actually admitted this in a phone interview. He said, everything I did was Hicks. Everything I did was Hicks. He said, I just took a lot of the, he said I made it a little more right wing, whatever you call that. He said I took a lot of the politics out of it. He said I didn't really want to do the whole bit about. He said I didn't want to do the whole bit about marketing being the Antichrist, and he said I do advertising, which should tell you guys what a I can't talk like that on here, which should tell you right there that Dennis Leary is nothing but a hack. Dennis Leary is nothing but a hack. He's always going to be a hack. I'm sorry, but if anybody disagrees with that, sorry. But Dennis Leary, in my opinion, is not a comedian. The only reason that he ever got famous and became an actor was because of the living he made off of caricaturizing Bill Hicks, out of plagiarizing Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks, a true visionary, a true comedic visionary. And Larry just saw this and just decided to plagiarize all of it, and decided to make a living off of it. You know that book that Dennis Leary wrote called People Suck? That was Bill Hicks's misanthropic view of humanity, misanthropic view of, how much he hated people, how much he hated people. Well, he didn't hate people, but I mean, that was just, it was his view of what he thought of us as a whole, what he thought of us as a whole. But yeah, I'm sorry I'm ranting and rambling on here. I just thought I'd, do a video with this background. But yeah, guess I'm waiting on here for some people.